Alright guys, welcome to this video on how to use the graphing calculator app on our iPad called Desmos. Now while I'm going to show you how to use this on the internet version, it is almost exactly the same as the one on your iPads. So for instance, suppose you wanted to know what the graph of y equals 2x plus 5 looks like. Well, in the upper left hand corner we see this little plus sign with a drop down menu. So let's add an item and we're going to add an expression. And now it's going to ask us, well, what expression do you want? And let's type in y equals 2x plus 5. And so this right here is the graph of y equals 2x plus 5. Just to note, if you're ever having trouble seeing, you can always turn this to projector mode. And to do that, here in the upper right, we've got graph settings, and you can turn on projector mode, which makes everything really big and easier to see, although you can't see as much, but really helpful if you're, well, projecting. I'm going to take it off projector mode. And one really nice thing about this is, check it out, your x-intercept and y-intercept are already displayed for you to see. So if you're ever wondering about the x and y-intercept, that's great. And if you want, you can press your finger and click on the actual graph and drag, and it will tell you all of these ordered pairs on the graph. Another feature that I think is really nice. This one happened to graph in purple. If you'd like, you can click on this settings wheel and you can edit the color of this. So maybe we can make it red or blue, and you can make it dashed as well. So you've got a whole lot of options for what you do with your graph once it's down there. Okay, let's do another one. Actually, let's go ahead and delete this by pressing this X button. Okay, now suppose we wanted to graph something like 3m plus 4k equals 9. Well, if we put that into the graphing calculator, plus 4k equals 9. No dice. This graphing calculator will only work if you use x's and y's. So instead of m, let's make that an x. And instead of k, let's make that a y. And great, we have our new line. You don't need to put this into y equals form for it to graph it. You can give it any equation and it'll graph it right away. Again, here is your y-intercept, here is your x-intercept, readily available to find. Something else you might want to use this for is to make a table of values. So I'm going to delete this again, and I'm going to add this time a table. And this is probably what your table looks like on the iPad when you start. So what we're going to do is, suppose we want to find a table for y equals 1/2 x plus 4. In this column, we're going to put all of our x values. In this column, we're going to actually just write 1/2 x, 1/2 x plus 4. And now here, we just need to, it filled in some values for us. I didn't know it was going to do that. But you can pick whatever x values you want. So maybe a 0, and there's your 0.04. You can put in a 2. There's your 0.25. You can put in -6. Here's your point, -6, 1. So you can fill in a whole bunch of ordered pairs as you see fit. And one thing that's really nice is, if you want, you can press on this settings wheel. And if you click on this, you can of course change the color. But what you can do is you can actually tell it, hey, listen, if this is going to create a nice graph, would you please create it? And by pressing this, check it out. It actually fills in what all the other ordered pairs would be. If you click on these, it should give them their label. No, yeah, there we go. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. So just something to keep in mind, and this is a really, really great tool. And you can type in any function you want. You can type in, for instance, y equals the quantity of x minus 3, all of that squared plus 2. And you get a really nice graph. Or you could do y equals the negative absolute value of x minus 5 plus 6. Oh, excuse me. Let's put that plus 6 outside the parentheses. Plus 6. And that's really cool. And once again, for any specific graph, it'll give you the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and what's really cool is it'll actually tell you where it intersects the other graph that you had. So for instance, these two graphs intersect at the point 5, 6, as well as the point 2, 3. I don't know that, but that's really cool. So just a nice little tool to have in case you ever want to check your work on one of these graphing problems.